Tonight, New York Times reporters Jonathan Martin and Alexander Burns have released more audio from the immediate aftermath of the January 6th attack. Their forthcoming book, which is released on Tuesday of next week, is apparently going to be accompanied by an absolute trove of incredibly disturbing audio tapes, audio recordings of Republicans speaking among themselves in the immediate aftermath of the January 6th attack, including this newly released discussion of how dangerous top Republicans believed it was for pro-Trump Republican members of Congress to keep talking in violent terms, to violent and incendiary terms, about even other members of Congress, the way they were in the wake of the January 6th attack.
Okay, the other thing I want to bring up, and I'm making some phone calls to some members. I just got something sent now about Newsmax, something Matt Gaetz said, where he's calling people's names out, saying an anti-Trump in this type of atmosphere. And some of the other places, this is serious stuff people are doing that has to stop. I'll make individual calls.
I think Mo and Louis' comments too. A lot of members have said some real concerning things about.
Did they say something today too?
Not that Louis was at. Mo was at the rally. You know, we're kicking and taking names thing at the Trump rally.
Well, these are before they kicked that out.
Okay, what did Gaetz say?
Gaetz brought up Liz specifically. I just saw that on Twitter.
And Adam, someone just sent it. Gonzalez just sent it to me, so I'm calling Gaetz. I'm explaining to him. I don't have anything to say, but I'm going to have some other people call him too. But the nature of what, if I'm getting briefing, I'm going to get another one from the FBI tomorrow. This is serious. Cut this out.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's potentially illegal what he's doing.
Well, he's putting people in jeopardy, and he doesn't need to be doing this. We saw what people would do in the Capitol, and these people came prepared with rope, with everything else.
We saw what people would do in the Capitol. They came prepared with rope, with everything else. Just before that, we heard Louisiana Republican Congressman Steve Scalise saying about Matt Gaetz, yeah, that's potentially illegal what he's doing. McCarthy said, well, he's putting people in jeopardy. He doesn't need to be doing this. We saw what people would do in the Capitol. People came prepared with rope, with everything else. That audio just released tonight by the New York Times. That's the Republican leadership in the House of Representatives talking about their own members, how their incendiary calls to violence, even against other members of Congress, were potentially illegal, very concerning, threatening, to the point of Mr. McCarthy referencing the FBI briefings that he was getting in that same discussion. In addition to that recording tonight released by the New York Times, we've also now got the context for what Nicholas Burns and Jonathan Martin had reported here on this show last week when they described Kevin McCarthy expressing exasperation that social media companies, that Twitter, wasn't cutting off the accounts of more Republicans beyond just Trump. As Republicans continue to use social media platforms like Twitter to call for violence or to otherwise say things online that could incite it. Here's that tape.
What did Mo Brooks say down at that rally, though?
It's the kicking and taking names thing is the one that I've seen the most from people. I didn't watch his speech, but that's a number of members sent that to me, so that he used that term.
And Louis said, we need to fight or something, right? Didn't he say something a couple days out that was horrendous?
It was something like that, yes. It was incendiary.
I mean, you got the Maxine Waters and all that stuff, too. So, I know the Dems are in a very strong position right now to drive a lot of things. But our members have got to start paying attention to what they say, too, and you can't put up with that type of
Brooks apparently said, today is the day American patriots start taking down names and kicking, which I would say is even a step further than the kind of rhetorical take,
Well, if you think the president deserves to be impeached for his comment, that's almost something that goes further than what the president said. All right, let's see it. Someone give me the info of what they said. Have either of them apologized for what they've done?
I have not seen that anywhere. And there's an issue with Alabama. Barry Moore has said some things today even that we should look at, honestly.
What did Barry say today?
All right, so he deleted his personal Twitter account, but Jamie Dupree with the Atlanta Journal got screenshot. He said about 22 hours ago, wow, we have more arrests for stealing a podium on January 6th than we do for stealing an election on November the 3rd. Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Detroit would be places I recommend you start. There's video evidence of these crimes as well. Hashtag election integrity matters. And then Moore also made this tweet on Saturday night as the U.S. Capitol police officer who shot and killed a woman as he tried to get into the lobby. So he tweeted at Marjorie Greene and at Nayrol, I understand it was a black police officer that shot the white female veteran. You know, that doesn't fit the narrative.
Wow. Oh, man.
This is what we have to confront with this.
Can't they take their Twitter accounts away, too?
Can't they take their Twitter accounts away, too? It was a black police officer who shot the white female, says Congressman Barry Moore. A gasp then follows on the call, and then you hear Kevin McCarthy say, can't they take their Twitter accounts away, too? You heard earlier in that tape of that conversation, this is a tape that reportedly was made on January 10th, so 4 days after the attack on the Capitol. Kevin McCarthy appearing to say about Congressman Mo Brooks, you think the president deserves to be impeached for his comments ahead of the attack on the Capitol, January 6th, then describing what Congressman Mo Brooks had said at the same rally where the president spoke before the attack. He said, quote, that's something that goes further than what the president says. So they're talking about Mo Brooks being even more culpable than President Trump, and President Trump deserving impeachment for what he had said. And then this quote from another Alabama Congressman, Barry Moore, talking about the fact that it was a black police officer who shot a white female. Gasp. Can't they take their Twitter accounts away? After those recordings were published tonight, further illustrating how keenly Republicans in leadership were aware that what their own members were doing was going to cause violence.